Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. Starting off this week, bringing the bunnies to the vet and letting them run around afterwards. But it's going to be a busy week with lots of finals coming up. We have one on Monday, two on Wednesday, and one on Thursday. So there's going to be lots of studying happening. So I'm going to just start off this week running through some flashcards and preparing for the week. This weekend has really flown by overall. I spent most of the morning and this afternoon just kind of hanging out and celebrating my girlfriend's birthday. So it's been lots of fun, but I do need to really get back into studying because I got some work done yesterday when we were just kind of dog sitting and taking care of our bunnies. But I'm going to run through some of my flashcards now for neuromuscular conditions because that final exam is going to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the night working on my preparations for musculoskeletal conditions again, working on just making sure I know the positives for all of the tests and know how to do each of the tests I might have to do. But that's pretty much all that I have for tonight. Then for the rest of the week, I'm going to focus on my medical conditions preparations, but I'm going to go off and do my flashcards now. Well, that is the first exam of this week completed. Overall, it went pretty well, so I'm happy with how I did. But now we are moving on to studying for musculoskeletal conditions and medical conditions. Some of that studying I started tonight after class, when we had our neuromuscular conditions, starting some of the new content on spinal cord injury that we will be doing after we return from our integrated clinical experience coming up next week. So I started working on that with some friends, got an idea of exactly what I might need to study when it comes to the cancer content, but I'm going to spend the rest of tonight, one, taking the quiz that I still have to do for medical conditions, and then two, continuing my study of medical conditions, because I think I'm going to stay focused on that tonight, but since that's one of the exams that is going to be closed note, and the musculoskeletal conditions, which is on Wednesday, is going to be open note for the lecture exam, and then I do have my comprehensive lab exam in the morning, but I'm feeling relatively good on that overall, so I think I'm going to wait to do a majority of my studying for musculoskeletal conditions tomorrow during work, so I'm going to head off and do that right now. Well, energy is starting to run a little bit low right now. I forgot to record class this afternoon, but this morning we had some good conversations about medications. We can't really, within our scope of practice, do any prescription of medication, but we can talk about education of exactly what the terminology means, making sure they understand everything that's on their bottle. So it was just good practice overall, as well as going into some of those deeper conversations that we might not expect, but will most likely run into when we are out there in practice. And then this afternoon, we had our psychosocial aspects of care where we talked about inter-partner violence. So some deep topics overall, definitely kind of cognitively overloaded just because of lots of thinking, but I can't stop now. I got to keep doing the grind and go for now. I want to spend the 2 hours that I have before I head off to work making some of my flashcards so that I can practice both tonight at work as well as tomorrow night before I have my medical conditions exam on Thursday morning. But I also, at work, need to work on some of my musculoskeletal condition studying because the lab exam is going to be tomorrow morning. I believe I have the time slot from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. And then from noon until 3, the exam for the lecture portion of musculoskeletal conditions is open. So still have a few things to fine-tune on that, making sure that I know exactly how to do all of the special tests. I'm going to try and watch through some videos to make sure that I have hand placement down and make sure that I run through all of the clusters of possible examination items that are useful for helping you determine if it's a specific condition. So there's lots to do, but I'm just gonna keep on grinding and go for it right now. Well, we are halfway there through our finals week. That is 2 of my exams done out of 4. It went really well overall, which I was genuinely a little bit surprised about because I didn't feel super confident going in. But after getting in there and doing it and really just talking through everything, it showed that I do know quite a bit about these things. So that was really great feeling overall coming out of the exam like that. But we can't stop now. I think I'm going to take maybe 10 minutes to just kind of relax and take a break before I jump right back into preparing some of the flashcards that I'm going to try and run through tonight because we still have our medical conditions exam tomorrow. I do also this afternoon, starting at 12 until 3, I have 2 hours within that 3-hour window to take my musculoskeletal exam, so there's still lots to do, and I'm going to get to it right now. Good morning, everyone. It is 7:30 in the morning on Thursday. It's our last day of taking finals. We're still going to have neuromuscular conditions on Friday, so the week's not completely over, but we're getting near the end. I have my final exam for medical conditions from 10 until noon today, and then I also, before that, have a quick meeting with the clinical education faculty just to kind of introduce myself as the class of 2024's clinical education representative and just kind of give some small updates of what I have. So I do want to spend some time this morning putting together a short little report that I can have in my back pocket when they ask me about some updates. But I also do want to spend some time reviewing through these slides one last time, just kind of skimming through and seeing if there's anything else that I can glean from just that quick overview. So there's still so much to do, so I'm just going to keep grinding on. Woohoo! We made it through finals week. It ended up going really well overall, and it ended off just really good. I was pleasantly surprised with how well I was able to do, given the time restraints that we had. But that's all that I really have for this week. We made it through our finals. That is our first finals week of the semester done. This was our mini semester before we go into our integrated clinical experience 2 next week. If you want to check that out, make sure to look out for a video next week where I am going into the outpatient orthopedic setting and get some chance to really interact with that patient population along with my group members. I'll be there with 3 of my classmates, so I'm really excited just to get back into some hands-on learning. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.